Don't I look really pregnant now? It's weird. My belly button even pokes out. What?
You look beautiful.
Work it? Gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Hi, we're gonna take, sorry, I don't like flash you, so I'm like trying to like gracefully get on this without showing you my bits. I don't want you getting a sneak peek of the baby. Hi, we're gonna do pictures in a minute. The pictures go so crazy fast because there's a lot of you and we have a show to do and I'm pregnant and I like to lay down a lot now. So the pictures go fast, but that's why I like doing the Q&A. That way we can like hang out and become best friends. And you guys can ask me any questions you want. And I can ask you any questions I want. So don't ask me any horrible ones because I'll ask you one right back. So anyone ready? We can get started. Oh, she's ready right here. Two leading ingenues from an old musical and a new musical to play with. Oh my gosh, that's a hard question. I feel like I don't play like ingenues very well. Like I'm more like the comedic friend. But I don't know. From a new musical, I have no clue. I know from an old musical, I really want to play Baker's Wife from Into the Woods really badly, Stephen Sondheim show. But from a new musical, I would do anything. I'd play any role in Waitress. I really want to be in Waitress. So maybe that's my answer? I don't know. I'd do anything. If anyone in New York ever called me and asked me to do something on Broadway, I would go right away. So, I don't know. Anything. Right here in the front.
How have you been feeling lately, since we're all worried about you?
How have I been feeling lately, since you're all worried about me? Don't need to be worried. I'm just pregnant, I guess this is just how it works. I'm okay. I've been better, but I'm good, because I get to have a baby, so that's cool. But the new thing is like fainting, and I keep fainting all the time, which is weird, new. So if I faint on stage tonight, I'll be fine. Just give me like 10 minutes and I'll come back to and I'll be good. But yeah. But that's like the new weird one. It's like I faint a lot for no reason. So, and I look it up and I'm like, oh, this has got to be bad. Something must be bad and wrong. I look it up and it's like, no, it's normal. You're pregnant. So, I don't know. On the end on the aisle right here, the phone.
What is your favorite song from the new album, Sweetly?
Oh my gosh, don't make me pick. When Ariana's album first came out, I loved them all. It's really hard to pick one. Successful, I think, is probably my favorite right when the album came out. I was like jamming out to that 24/7, which was just playing, and I loved that. But now I'm really into R.E.M., so R.E.M. But I love it. They're all good. Like, it's hard to pick one. What's your favorite?
That's how I feel. I gotta say Goodnight and Joe is definitely.
Oh yeah, so good. They're all so good. She's a genius. I'm right here on that.
I love you so much. I love you too. And so, how do you deal with so much hate? Like, I hear you getting a lot of hate. So how do you stay positive?
Sometimes you can't stay positive when you're getting a lot of hate. Like, to be honest, like I like to try to be as positive as much as possible, but sometimes it's hard because when people are mean, it's hard to not like let it affect you. But one thing that's kind of always helped me get through any hate that I get is trying to have empathy for the person who's being mean. So instead of being mad at them and being like, oh, that person's a jerk, thinking like, oh, well, they must be at a hard place in their life if they're willing to put someone down like that and they're willing to say something so mean and so cruel. They must not be very happy and they must be struggling with something. And so instead of being angry at them, it helps me to be like, oh, I feel bad for them. Like, I hope that they're okay. And then it also makes it not have as much weight, because they must not mean it if they're really just going through something hard. So that kind of helps me through it. But then sometimes you can't help but to just like get your feelings hurt and like be upset. But that's what I try to do, is look at it from their perspective and be like, oh, I would never say something that horrible to someone, so they must be in a really hard spot right now. That kind of helps me through it. The girl in the haters back off purple purple shirt, she was like, yes!
I love you a lot.
Love you too.
When did you know you were like truly in love with Eric?
When did I know I was truly in love with Eric? Hey, I don't know. I feel like, well, we had such a good foundation first because we were friends for so long, and like, and we just got along so freaking well that the second it turned to more, it was like, oh, duh, like this is my person. So, but I don't know if there was like a moment where I was like, oh, I love him. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, this is my person forever now. So that's, yeah. But it was like, we didn't gradually go from like friends to like, once it clicked, it was like, oh, we're going to get married and have babies and be together forever, aren't we? Yes, I agree. That's kind of how it went. In the maroon shirt, reddish maroon, so it's hard to say here. My biggest challenge being both Miranda and Colleen. Probably, I don't know, probably, oh, that's a hard one. Biggest challenge, you know, this is a dumb answer, but it's actually kind of true. All the lipstick, it gets everywhere. Like, it ruins everything. There's lipstick all over my house. Like, there's like red fingerprints on clothes and walls, and it just kind of gets everywhere, so that's obnoxious. I mean, the haters, obviously, online is probably the biggest real challenge, but the lamest challenge is probably just how much lipstick is all over the house. How about, your friend is pointing to you back here at the phone. My what? Pregnancy food craving. Right now it's just food. Like, I just want to eat all the things. But right now, it's still In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out so much. But is there anything I've been craving more recently? Eric? Corey? Anyone? What have I been craving? Sea salt brownies, yeah. But I don't think that has to do with pregnancy. I think that's just because I like brownies. What? Root beer, yeah. Oh, we need to get some root beer. Let's get some root beer. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like everything. But I like cheeseburgers. I want cheeseburgers all the time, like every day. Right here in the front.
When did you decide to become Miranda Sings?
When did I decide to become Miranda Sings? Well, I started doing Miranda like 10-ish years ago, and I was just goofing around, so that's kind of when it started. But I didn't think I was going to become Miranda. I just was like being silly and making up a character.
And then you found out you became famous.
Yeah, it took a few years before people saw it, but yeah, it took a while. But then it started to become popular, and I was like, oh, maybe I should do this for a little bit longer, and I just kept going with it. And now you guys are all sitting here. Right here.
Hello. Have you tried Wahlburgers yet?
Wahlburgers?
Yeah, in comparison to In-N-Out.
No, what is that? I need it.
It's
Cheeseburgers?
On concept, it's Mark Wahlberg's burger spot, but it's a lot better than In-N-Out.
It's really good.
You just said it's a lot better than In-N-Out, and that is a big claim. Is it really?
We
Wahlburgers?
were just there, and we rated at both last week, and yeah, it's way better.
Wahlburgers. Okay. I'm sure hoping someone's writing that down back then. I can't really see, but holding the hat up. Oh, hi!
First of all, I just want to say, following you for so long, seeing pregnant and in love, like tears.
Cheers, me too.
Funny question: is Miranda really pregnant, or is it just like a tweet that's been building?
Is Miranda really pregnant? Yeah, it's all just clickbait. It's all fake tummy. I'm not pregnant. No. Miranda is really pregnant, but you'll find out eventually by whom, or if she's really the Virgin Mary. Let's see, I want to answer all of your questions. With the striped shirt right here.
What are some baby names that you're thinking of?
Can you help me? We don't have any baby names. We're so bad at this. Like, everyone asks us every day, like, what are you going to name him? We're like, we have no idea. Like, it's... I'm not gonna name him Patrick. we don't know. We're having such a hard time with it. With girls, like every day we come up with a new girl name. Like every day we're like, oh, that would have been such a good girl name. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're having such a hard time with it. Like boy names it's hard to name a human. Like that's a big responsibility to be responsible for naming a human being. So we don't have anything yet. But if you guys come up with any ideas, let me know. And the glasses right here. Yeah.
I kind of had a two-part sort of answer to it, but are you going to give yourself a nice break from YouTube after giving birth, like a little vacation to just kind of like when you think about motherhood? And then also, I was just wondering if you had a game plan for like Miranda's future storyline, how that's going to like work out.
Yeah, the first question is, am I going to take a break, once I have a baby and all that? I think there's no way I won't be able to take a break. Just my body's forcing me to take a break already. I think that's partly the reason why I'm fainting randomly. It always happens when I'm stressed and doing a million things. And I think it's my body telling me to slow down. You need to grow a human, so stop. And so I think that's gonna be inevitable. I don't wanna take a break from YouTube. I really like it. But I'm sure I will. Like, I think, I've heard having a baby is real hard. So I think I'm probably gonna have to take a little break and just focus on taking care of him and making sure he's okay and Eric's okay and I'm okay. And then eventually I'll get back into it. And then as far as what I'm gonna do with Miranda, yeah, I have like a sort of game plan. I know like the bullet points of what's gonna happen with Miranda next. I don't have an idea of what I'm gonna do once the baby comes though, because I don't wanna like make the baby a character in Miranda's life. Like I want him to be his own person and decide someday if he wants to be seen by millions of people. I don't wanna make that decision for him. So once the baby comes, I don't know how I'm gonna explain him just disappearing. But I'll figure something fun out. But I know as far as like the pregnancy goes, what I'll do. And as far as the birth, like I don't plan on filming all the parts of that because I'm sure it's gonna be brutal and I'm not gonna want a camera in my face. But I already have YouTuber friends texting me like, you better bring lipstick to the hospital and film yourself in labor with lipstick on. I'm like, well, we'll see about that. Shane Dawson was the first person to text me that, by the way. He was like, you better film it with lipstick on. I was like, okay. Right here with the lipstick on.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
What's your favorite color?
Purple. Purple's my favorite color. What's your favorite color? Blue. Oh, it's a beautiful one. And the orange back there. Girl, there's so many. My most embarrassing pregnancy story. There are so many gross ones. Being pregnant is kind of gross. One, if you don't like TMI stories, you're not gonna like this one. Sorry, but they're all like that, I guess. I think the most embarrassing one. There's two that are popping to my mind, but one is that when I was on bus tour. There's a rule on the bus that you can't flush toilet paper on the bus. Like you can pee and that's it, and like no flushing toilet paper. So if you have toilet paper, you throw it in trash. And it was the middle of the night, and when you're pregnant, you pee like 100 times in the middle of the night. It's where I see moms being like, yes. And so when you're half asleep and you're peeing, like you're not gonna pay attention and like throw toilet paper in a trash can. So I threw it in the toilet, and then realized I wasn't supposed to do that. And in the toilets in the bus, there's no water in the toilet. It's just whatever you have put in there. So it was just my pee and a lot of toilet paper soaked in my own pee, and I had to get it out. And I had nothing to grab it with, so I'm digging out my own pee-soaked toilet paper, pregnant, nauseous, on a moving bus. Like it was horrible and so humiliating. And I finally got it out, and then the next morning I was like telling everyone about it, and the tour manager was like, you can flush the toilet paper. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you can flush it. That was just the last bus. I was like, oh, like, it was horrible. That's the first one that comes to mind. That was pretty embarrassing, awful. Right here. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
We're from Tacoma, and we're just wondering how you chose Tacoma for Miranda, because I totally thought you lived there for like
A lot of people thought I lived in Tacoma for a long time because that's where Miranda's from. I have family that lives in Tacoma, and so I actually love Tacoma, and in my mind, when Miranda says Tacoma, she's not talking about like this, because the city's cool. It's like a suburb far outside of Tacoma, but it's like when you live somewhere kind of near a city, so you're just like, yeah, I live in this city, even though you kind of live in a random place outside of it. That's kind of how I think of where Miranda lives. But I have a lot of family that live there, and some of my isms as Miranda, so like singing, like with the hard G's, and like little tics and tricks that I have as Miranda, I got from my cousins that live in Tacoma. So, not that it has anything to do from being there, but yeah, so that's the thing. How's the Tacoma aroma? It's almost gone? Really? Oh, nice. I need to go visit again. I love Tacoma. In the glasses, and I think it's a pink long sleeve shirt. What? Will I ever get any more pets? I always want more cats. Eric says no. You love the cats. Come out. Say wave hi. No more cats?
Cleans out the litter box.
That's fun. Pregnant people aren't allowed to be around cat poop and cat litter. I think some pregnant woman made that up because there's so many horrible things about being pregnant. They're like, we gotta at least get one perk out of this. How about we're not allowed to be around cat litter? So he has to deal with all the cat poop and cat pee and all that. And our cats like to do those things a lot. But I really want another cat, but we're waiting on more pets until baby comes and we get used to having a baby and making that a priority. Because we don't know how the pets are going to be with the baby and, you know, all that stuff. So, how about with the sunflowers, we'll say?
You could, first of all, I just want to say I love you so much. Love you too. Never dye your hair. What color would you dye?
Purple. I've always wanted purple hair. I'm dead serious. There was a phase when all the YouTubers were like dyeing their hair crazy colors, and like everyone was dyeing their hair neon colors, and I was like, I want to go purple so bad. But it was like right when Haters Back Off started. I don't know, I just think it would be cool to have purple hair. I really want it. I don't know why. I'll probably never do it. I'm too scared. How about holding the book up over here, holding the phone in the book, the diary book? My favorite role I ever played in theater. I'm just realizing as I'm trying to see you guys, it's really hard to see. I'm like, it's so weird. My favorite role I've ever played in theater, honestly, it was Gertrude. Like, Gertrude's such a fun role in Seussical the Musical. That's such a fun show. That was a really, really fun one. Maybe that. Okay, I'll do one more. Oh, it's so hard because I want to answer all of your questions. Okay, everyone's pointing to this one girl holding the black notebook. Why did I want to start YouTubing? Well, when I started doing YouTube, it wasn't a job. There weren't YouTubers. That word didn't even exist, YouTuber.